Hello my dear students, I am Rukan Nalwala and in this video we are going to study about all the living organisms which are present in this world, their characteristics and at which places they live. What are adaptations first of all? The presence of certain specific feature or habits which enables a plant or an animal to adjust and live in its surrounding is known as adaptations. In short, when an organism is living somewhere, it adjusts to the place and then after a long time it cannot adjust anywhere else. So that is known as adaptation. What is a habitat? The surroundings where an organism lives is known as its habitat. And there are two main types of habitat, two components of habitat. They are biotic component and abiotic component. Biotic component usually includes all the living features, whereas abiotic includes the non-living ones. The examples for abiotic components are air, soil, water, light, minerals, temperature, etc. Anything which we can say or which we can categorize as a non-living organism, it can be included in abiotic components. Biotic components includes plants, animals, microbes, decomposers, human beings. In short, all the living organisms are included in the biotic components. The biotic and abiotic factors, the difference is given here, and the main difference is living is included in biotic and non-living is included in abiotic. All the examples we studied. There are two main types of habitats. The first is terrestrial habitat, that is present on the land, and second is aquatic habitat, which is related to water. Three main categories of terrestrial habitats are desert habitat, mountain habitat, and grassland habitat. Whereas for aquatic habitat, there are two main categories, oceans and ponds and lakes. We cannot imagine a desert habitat without a camel, yes? So let's talk about the camels. How are they surviving there? A camel has very long legs to keep them away from the hot sand. Also, it stores food and water in its hump, and the water loss from body in the form of urine and sweat is very less. Also, their dung is very dry, so least amount of water is used for their body activities. Also, the main type of vegetation seen there is cactus, the common plant seen there. And if you notice, the cactus, they do not have leaves. So the process of photosynthesis is carried out with the help of stem. Also, there are spines present which helps the plant to reduce the water loss, which is done usually through the process of transpiration. And with the help of thick and waxy layer and deep roots, the plant can absorb soil from the water and maintain the water inside the plant. Next, if we talk about mountain habitats. Now, the most common trees seen in the mountain habitats are the conical pattern. It has sloping branches and they have needle-like shape which helps the snow to slide down easily, all the snow and water. The most common animals seen there are the snow leopards. It is white in color and can hide in the environment as there are usually chances of snowfall and snow on the ground also. They have very thick fur to protect themselves from the cold and claws to prevent them from slipping on the surface of the snow. And the second common animal seen on mountainous regions are the mountain goat. Again, they have thick white fur and they have very strong hooves for running up the rocky slopes as there are mountains present. And the third is the yak. So long thick fur of yak protected from severe cold in the winter. Many a times this fur of yak is used for making many blankets and luxury products. The first photo is of the snow leopard, the second is of mountain goat, and the third is of the yak. Now, when we talk about grasslands, We imagine there are green grasses present everywhere, but that is incorrect. Here, when we talk about grasslands, it means there are grasses which are long and a bit of brown in color. So, the animals found here usually hide in these grasses. For example, here we are talking about the lion. Now, lion has almost the same color as the grass present there, so it helps them to hide in the grass easily. Lion also has the long claws which can be withdrawn inside, and both the eyes are in front of the head, so that it gives the correct idea about where the location of the prey, that is where the other animal is standing, so that it can pounce on it. Now, if we talk about the deer, which is the prey, so what all features, what all characteristics it has? It can run faster so that it can escape from the predators, that is, from the lion. Strong teeth it has so that it can eat all the plants it wants, because chewing the stems is very hard, so they require strong teeth, long ears to listen to the movement of the predators. अगर lion कहीं से आ रहा है, if there is rustling of the grass or the leaves, then they can know it because they have long ears and a strong hearing. And also the eyes are at the side of the head, so it allows them to look at a wide area for all the danger. If we talk about aquatic animals, they are usually of streamlined body. We all know because we studied it in the 8th chapter that streamlined body helps the organisms in the water to move fast. The gills are present for respiration and the body is protected by the scales. Now, there are many animals which do not have the gills. So, how do they breathe in water? They have nostrils to breathe air, and those nostrils are known as blowholes. The animals which have these blowholes are the dolphins and the whales. You might have seen in many videos that sometimes the whale comes to the surface of the water, it blows, that is, it breathes air inside and then it goes inside the water again. The frogs, they can breathe in water and also on the land. They have webbed feet to swim in water and strong back legs to take long leaps. The plants which are present in water, some of them are floating on the water, some of them have their roots fixed in the soil. Now, some of the leaves, they bend in water to prevent uprooting in some of the plants. So, there are many a times leaves seen in water, and many a times the whole plant is floating on the water, but its roots are fixed in the soil below the land. Now, what are the characteristics of living things? How can we differentiate between a living and non-living? The most common characteristics of living things are: all living things need food as it is the source of our energy. All living things grow. All living things respire, that is, breathe. Living things respond to stimuli, that is, they respond to any change occurring in the surrounding. Living organisms remove waste from their body, and the process is called excretion. And living organisms reproduce of their own kind. And the last one, living organisms, they show all type of movement. Thank you everyone.